What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TYP336 here, and welcome to the first episode of the Dual Dads podcast. I'm your host Ty Payne, and I am also here with my co-host Justin Perkins, who is also my teammate on the Edison Club and also my War League teammate on Team Ultra Instinct. Justin, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, bud? Good to be here.
So me and you've been talking about doing this podcast for a long, long time, and
Yes.
I think I think the best way for us to really get like started off is just really just like telling like our like background, like our I guess like our origin stories of how we got into Yu-Gi-Oh, how the virus really got a hold of us.
Yeah. So, I guess before that, we should probably talk about like why we're doing the podcast and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and maybe like
that's true
what Dual
too.
Dad is. So, like me and you've been talking about this for a few months now.
Yeah,
Um, Actually, since like I guess Yugi podcasting started becoming a thing, we got to listen to podcasts, and we were like, you know what's not out there is like a podcast about like dads that play cards, and there's like we started back in like 2000, 2002, the starter decks when they came out, right?
right.
And we're old now, dude.
Yeah, we are.
Physically we're like 30, 31 years old, right, or whatever, but a lot of people that we grew up playing cards with, including ourselves, have kids now.
Yeah,
And we were like, there's no podcast out for that, there's like no YouTube channels, and the YouTubers that have kids, they don't ever mention them hardly.
yeah, they don't.
It's like this is something that we can do different, something that we can bring a different kind of content to people out there that are just like us.
I agree. Like this, like it's really something that a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Like because it's hard. It's actually pretty hard to be competitive like and still maintain like a healthy like balance between like playing Yu-Gi-Oh and like your like spending time with your children.
Yeah, so like and I say the word competitive lightly because like I don't have any premier tops like YCS or nothing like that, right?
Same.
So, and a lot of it is because like when I first started playing, obviously I didn't have a means to really travel. Like in the 2000s, whatever. I was a fan of the TV show and everything, and it wasn't about like trying to play. I didn't even know competitive Yu-Gi-Oh was a thing. I thought everybody was just playing the cards that looked the coolest or whatever their favorite character on the TV show was playing, right?
Right.
It wasn't until like right after Edison, before Tengu Plant, that I had moved out, and me and my buddy Madison and my buddy Kurt got a place together, and we were able to travel to regionals and things like that. My first regional, man, like it was insane. I'm like, man, these happen a lot. This is crazy, and it was like freaking living Battle City or Duelist Kingdom off the TV show.
Right.
But even then, like I didn't go to events a whole lot because I had a job and everything, and money was tight and everything. So, you got to spend like $50 entry and then gas to get there and food and everything. And then cards were still expensive too, like competitive cards. It was just easier for me just to play the cards that like I liked off the TV show or something like that, as opposed to spending $1,000 on a Dark Arm Dragon deck, a Teledad deck, or
Right.
whatever.
The Dark Arm Dragon Teledad days were very just very like it was a very toxic time for me during that like
Yeah,
because I played during that time period, and it was I didn't like you I didn't have like a lot of money to invest in the cards, and like I'm a teenager at this time, so my parents aren't going to give me like $1,000 for a Teledad deck or
oh yeah,
a Dark Arm return deck. I'm like, dude, I was playing like the Boboist of the Bobo decks. I took a Crystal Beast deck to a regional, and
yeah.
like I got I got a top 16 with it, but I mean it was like it's still like it was not like the climb up that ladder was not fun. Um, but yeah, I played all the like budget like all the budget decks and stuff, dude.
I
Like
remember my first regional. It was I think it was right when Generation Force came out, because I believe they if like some regionals happen on the same weekend as like the sneak peeks, remember?
yeah,
And they still do. So they had a regional in Maryland. I think it was the same weekend as the Generation Force sneak peek, and people were going crazy for like Levier or things like that. Tour guide was super expensive, because they come out the pack before, I believe. So I remember I pulled like an ultimate rare Levier the Sea Dragon, and I did really bad at the tournament, but like I got like a whole bunch of cards. I was playing like Lightsworn Zombie at the time,
Hmm.
um, and I had like gotten like Ally of Justice Decisive Armor, which is really good because like Lightsworn was still around in the format and everything, and you could like you could hit like two JD in their hand and just deal like a large amount of damage and everything. It was so cool, and it wasn't until the next regional. I don't remember how much longer after. I think the Agent Structure deck had just dropped,
Right.
and in Roanoke, I did really good at that regional. And yeah, dude, like after that, I didn't go to another regional until like 2016 Blue Lost format.
So, like, so pretty much like my background with everything is like I started like like back with when the structure like the first Star Decks came out, and then like I found out what my first local was in like '05. Like my first local, and our other teammate Michael Boyd, he can attest to this. It was a candle shop on Main Street in Mount Airy,
Oh wow.
and like they didn't really like I never saw them really sell any candles at all. Like I like it was predominantly just Yu-Gi-Oh, and I like you remember Joey, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, me like
That's
he
another podcast in itself.
yeah, it is, but he was the one that told me about the about that local store, and then his dad took us, and then like we thought we were like the best kids playing because like we beat everybody at our school, but we got a taste of like what actual locals was, and we got raffle stomped, dude. Like
Oh,
it took us forever to finally win our first local. Then we find out what regionals are from like because at this time period we're meeting like Brandon Combs, Michael Gammons, um, the young Michael Boyd. Like, we're meeting all of our would be friends at this time, um, and then when we get a taste of what the regional scene is like, and like I remember my first regional. It was during goat format, and I am literally shaking like a leaf. Like I am nervous. Like it was just I didn't realize there was so many people in the area in like North Carolina that played, and then like just throughout like as time went on, I got like gradually better. I mean like still not I'm still not even to this day I'm not where I want to be. Um, but like my I got one I got my first top during I think it was yeah, during perfect circle format, and then I got another top during that. I got a top during dad return with the crystal beast, like I said. But I could never go to nationals because I could never afford it. Um, and then after that, dude, it was I mainly a lot of my tops came from like playing Blackwing during Edison, playing Dark World like after the first structure that came out, and then playing Burning Abyss like post Terra Top.
oh wow. Yeah, like I took a break. Well, I say break. I still collected cards and everything, but like none of my friend group, like Madison and stuff, he moved away. Like I didn't hang out with him as much. Buddy Kirk quit playing because, like I said, we really all just didn't have a lot of money and the means to travel.
Right.
Um, so 2016, Madison came over and was talking about Yu-Gi-Oh again, and like it's crazy to think that Blue Eyes was the best deck. And he had a Blue Eyes deck, and I think he was playing like some kind of zombie synchro deck or something like that. So, and keep in mind this is like right before links were a thing, like the year before. So I remember I was like, man, I can skip mortgage or rent. I was renting at the time. I can skip rent this month and like, but not this month of this paycheck, and
Right.
pick up this Blue Eyes deck. And so I was like a week late on rent, but it's okay. I think you know, like buy this stack of bricks and not pay on the one I'm living in. So that's what I did. But it was a pretty fun deck. I went to a regional, did really good there. Um, like Chaos Max was just like I think outside of Blue Eyes, I think like Harold Stick and Chair was like the next best deck,
Right.
and
I
Blue
remember
Eyes
those
just
times.
yeah, Blue Eyes just like I was playing like the Chaos Max engine and it just tore apart that deck to pieces. Um, but
That was one deck I wanted to play so badly, but it was just it was
Stick
so
and Chair,
it, no, not stick chair. It was I had the stick chair Shadal deck, but I wanted to play Blue Eyes, but it was so expensive.
yeah,
And
I
then
mean
like by the time it was like I was able to afford it, it wasn't good anymore.
yeah, I think that it was literally like the deck was just unplayable after Links became a thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, Dark Matter Dragon getting hit hurt the deck a lot too.
Oh yeah.
But the deck was somewhat still playable as like the control version until like the links were a thing. It's just like you can't pop off because Blue Eyes like the thing with it. And like we're getting off topic is like you couldn't really spam the board, and like having to go into a link monster and then like to an Xyz or a synchro. It's just like it took too many resources and it didn't leave you with a follow up.
Right.
But that's a whole other conversation too. But
Yeah.
I guess what we're getting at now is we're dads. We have kids,
Yeah.
and what's it like? What changes have you seen since you've had your daughter, and like how's it affected how you play? You know what you play and how often you play.
Well, like the way it's like the way it's like affecting me is like, I obviously don't get to I don't go out and play as much as I would like to, but like just due to the fact I mine and her mother are no longer together, so that's just like so it's like we're doing the split custody situation, and it's I have her every other weekend, and not all the time, but a good majority of the time is like when a lot of these events like fall is when is like the weekends I have her, and then I try to my time with her is precious, and I try to like allocate majority of my time to her
Yeah,
so I can because I don't get that time a lot, you know. So it's just it's difficult. It's very difficult. Like it's like this weekend. I have her this weekend. Like and we're going to the PS5 tournament tomorrow. And it like it's real. Like the only time I will really go to a tournament is if it's like worth my time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or if it's just gonna be like if it's just gonna be something short, but everybody's going.
and like close by.
Yeah, like definitely. If this PS5 tournament was in Smithfield tomorrow, I wouldn't be going.
Yeah, no, and to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't either. Um, it just so happens that it's close.
Yeah, that's like really that was like the determining factor is like that it was close.
Yeah,
But that's really like with that it's just as far as it's affected my playing I still feel like I can play fairly well as far as like skill wise I still feel like I still do fairly decent, but I don't get to like during the weekends I don't get to test that much
yeah,
because I still try to like allocate time towards her, but like if she's like napping or something I'll try to get like some games in here or there, but like also at the same time as well I know as well as I do staying up with kids all day it'll tire you out, and like you probably know the old rules as same as I do. If they're napping, you're napping.
yeah. And it's not that. It's not just that either. It's like a lot of times like your weekends off, you want to do stuff with them too because you're working throughout the week.
Right, exactly.
And so like Yu-Gi-Oh takes less of a priority, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But I think the rewarding thing about it is the fact that like we grew up with this stuff and like we were kids, we went to school, we got made fun of for it, and now like it's popular. People that was like, oh, I remember playing that in school. That was a cool game. Like, no, you made fun of me. It's becoming popular,
Yeah.
and our kids are get to grow up with it. And I say the game is hard to get into now for like new kids or like kids getting into the game, but Edison format's really cool.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
yeah, Speed Duel's pretty cool too. So my son likes the show. He doesn't really care for the card game, but I think it's just he's only been to tournaments where I play like advanced format,
Right.
and it's like
L-
really complicated. But he likes the show a lot, and he has like a stack of cards, and it's cool sharing that stuff with your kids.
Luna is obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Yeah,
She is absolutely obsessed with GX. Like every like I'll be sitting here watching it sometimes just because it's my like hot take. I like it's my Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is my favorite out of any
yeah.
of the
So
series.
my favorite is of course the OG,
Right.
and then 5Ds and GX. It just depends on what mood I'm in. To be honest with you, I think
Yeah.
that storyline wise, I think 5Ds is better.
Right.
But I think GX just has like more iconic duels.
Yeah. It does. It really does.
And for those people that like, it sucks that we missed out on the dub version of season four. But Yugi
Yeah.
versus Jaden, have you seen that?
Yes, I have. I literally I'm like, and this is how much of an old man I've become. Like I just got a Crunchyroll account,
Yeah.
and like, and so I
I'm
was just,
surprised because your fiance like is obsessed with anime.
yeah, she is like she's she's in Naruto and My Hero Academia and stuff like that, and I literally just like I just got it like this week, and I was looking around just to see what all was on there. I was like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is on here, and then like I was scrolling through all the episodes, and I was like, I wonder if season 4 is on here, and then like I seen season 4 is on there. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I've been watching that. I've been watching that this week. So that's just I've been tickled pink about that.
Yeah, I'm surprised you just know about that. I've had one for a while. Like, um, I don't really watch it as often as I should. Um, but it's cool because like you can watch like the original, like the sub version of Yu-Gi-Oh, like the original.
Hmm.
It's like so much more brutal. Like I'm not talking about season zero. I'm just talking about like just the dialogue
Right.
is just like freaking Yugi playing Exodia against Kaiba. You know, first episode is like Exodia Hellfire's Rage. Like that's badass.
That is
Like
that
Obliterate's cool too, but like
like that's
um
that was insane.
so yeah, so like it's kind of you know there are those weekends where like you go play cards and like you just feel bad for leaving your kid or
Yeah.
you know that kind of thing too. But at the same time, like you know as well as I do, like being a dad and working through the week and everything like that, that like it gets stressful, it gets exhausting at work. Like it takes a mental toll on you. Like some
Right.
jobs, like my job's not hard per se, but like it's a mental job,
Right.
and I need that like sometimes just playing like DB on the computer doesn't take that away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't like and like the here lately just I the the algorithm that DB uses triggers me so hard. Like I'm just like
Yeah.
I will like I'll get off off there immediately after like 3 or 4 matches. I'm just like okay, this is just been a bunch of non games. I'm out.
But I will say though that like I don't I don't feel as bad for missing a lot of events like I used to. Like COVID held
Yeah.
me really back because there was nothing. I was dying to get back into events. But like you know, it doesn't really bother me to where like if I have to miss an event, like I'm just gonna take the kids out somewhere or go do something with the family or the wife. You know, like
Yeah. Same.
it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not as bummed as I would be like you know when I was 16 or whatever. And like oh my god, my friends are going to this thing and I can't go. That used to eat me up a lot.
Yeah. Same. Like like
Yeah.
back then like stuff like that was crushing. Like it was absolutely crushing. Not to be able to go like to like an event with your friends is like
Yeah, and
like
they're going and like you secretly like, man, I hope they scrub, you know, like it's
right.
like it's like man, you hear all these cool stories and all these you know that kind of thing too. So you know now like it's like you got priorities and it's like you know you have responsibilities, but I do still enjoy the game a lot. And honestly, like the game is is crazy too because I feel like the game grows with us. We don't outgrow the game. It grows with us, and I don't see myself quitting playing anytime soon in the next 5 or 10 years or nothing like that.
Same. Like my mother often asks me a lot of times. She's like, Why do you still play this game?" I was just like honestly, it's been the good memories I've made throughout the years, and
Yeah,
like, it's been the friends that I've made. Like all like literally a grand majority of all my friends comes from Yu-Gi-Oh.
and let somebody say it's a kid's game because I like to see them learn how to play.
Right. Like
Uh,
I tried to teach Jordan how to play one time, and like you could see this like the steam coming out of her ears because she didn't know what was going on.
yeah, so I eventually I do want to get some more guests on the show. I know you
Yeah,
do too. That
yeah,
like
definitely.
like renowned players that like have children.
Yeah.
because I mean there are players that are like, gosh, man, people that were topping, that are probably like close to 40 now, like Del Bolito, and like
Right.
these guys, they're maybe not that old, but they're and a lot of these guys have kids too, and it'd be cool to see how that affects their gameplay still.
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
Yeah. I think that would be really cool too, just to get like a bunch of different like guests on the show, and just like see like just try to like pick their brain about how they see the game and whatnot.
yeah, I think it'd be really cool at some point if we do like Luna and like my son Salem
Yeah.
do like their own commentary, or my son Tristan, like do their own commentary over like Yu-Gi-Oh, or like commentate matches with like kid language or something like that. That'd be
that
pretty cool.
that would be.
So, what? So, I guess go over some events that you've been to recently, and how'd you do with those?
Um. Well, just like you, I've been playing Edison format for like the past going on almost we're going into our second year, right?
Yeah,
And I stopped playing. I stopped playing modern Yu-Gi-Oh. Last September is when I finally just quit playing for the most part, just because it was during like when Sprite and tier limit was starting to become a thing, and I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with any of this. Like, this is the game, like modern, just to me was just so toxic. It no one really knows how to play past turn two. Like, it's just,
well,
it's like I have.
you say it's toxic, but we both still play it.
Yeah, I don't play as nowhere near as
It's
heavy.
No, it's not as enjoyable.
No, it's not. And like my like even the deck I play, I like it's not enjoyable. I play Dark World, and I like I just and like my whole reasoning behind it, other than Dark World being my favorite deck, is just literally because I like it's like, okay, these decks are toxic. Let me just find the most toxic thing I can play and just go with it.
Yeah, Dark World's like one of those decks that are like it's nostalgic. It's like a GX deck.
It really
Um,
is.
the artwork is badass. Um, and like obviously I just got back into Heroes again. I've been off and on Heroes for a while, and I think I'm gonna stick with it.
I think
And
I think GX has just put a battery in my back to play Heroes now, like because
dude,
that's all I think about.
like going back to think about it, when I first not when I first met you, but when I got it's a funny story. We got to tell it here in a minute, but when I met you again, you were on Cyber Dragons pretty heavy.
Yeah,
So
that deck was my pride and joy for the longest.
I,
And
I feel like if Zane and like Jaden and the Dark King or whatever had like a baby, it's you. I'm surprised if you don't end on Infinity, a hand rip, and DPE one turn. Like it'd be awesome. But the funny story is like Ty and I have actually known each other for like 13 years,
yeah,
but we haven't talked the whole time. So I first met Ty because a buddy of mine was going through a really bad time, and we went down to North Carolina where Ty lived, and he was talking to this girl who happened to know this guy named Joey,
yep,
and which is weird because she ended up getting with him.
yeah.
That's a
It,
weird. Okay, this is
it,
weird.
it's a weird story. It's
So yeah,
this story's a rant. It really
okay.
is.
So yeah, so I meet go there and I meet Ty, and Ty's like when I come to their trailer, him and his dude is playing Yu-Gi-Oh on the living room floor, and Ty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're playing Light Sworn.
I believe so. I had a multitude of different decks during that
Yeah,
time
so
period.
I was like,
I,
oh my god, this is so cool. Like I play too, but I didn't have my cards on me because why would I?
right.
Random, I'm the third wheel on the date, whatever. So I didn't have my deck. So me and Ty, we when I did see him, we talked about Yu-Gi-Oh. Fast forward to like 2019, 2020. It's back when card shops first started allowing like in-game play again.
Yeah.
And I meet our mutual friend Boyd on Facebook, and he was asking for like some kind of Thunder Dragon deck list. I play Thunder Dragon religiously. I love that deck so much.
Yeah,
So he offered
y'all
me
were a
the
part of the Thunder Dragon Facebook group,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So he mentioned he played Mount Airy. I'm like, wow, that's like an hour away from me. So I went to Mount Airy, and lo and behold, when I got to the shop, somebody walked in, and I was like, that voice sounds freaking familiar. And there you was.
Yeah.
And Boyd's like, what is this? So, yeah, so And it's funny too because like I have my stories with Gavin, and you have your own stories, and they're
Yeah,
all just equally as crazy.
they are because like Gavin in himself was just is just a rant in himself. Like that's a character that like and I'm like there's videos of Gavin on this channel.
Yeah. So is there really,
Yeah, there is. Like Gavin had like a whole little comedy series that I'd started of him just where he would just like be completely unhinged.
dude? I maybe those are best if you just don't show them. I might give up those. I might give up like the whole story. This is a whole other episode for another time. This is
It
more of
is.
like being like a comedy podcast. Like we need to get him as a guest sometime.
Okay. I
No,
like
no.
gosh almighty.
But
I don't even know how to locate him, dude. Like
dude, the last time I saw him, I went to my bank to deposit some money,
yeah.
and he was walking out of the bank, and I was talking to him. He was in his car getting ready to leave, and in his lunchbox was like two big cans of beer, like two 2-liter cans. And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go to work. That's my lunch." And I said, "They don't care."
I'm not
He said,
surprised.
"No." He said, "No, they don't care." He said, "That's my lunch. Is two cans of beer." So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, dude."
I remember this guy. I remember this guy one year. He like as a Christmas gift to himself, he bought a case of 40-ounce beers, and he looked like a kid opening up a Nintendo 64 back in the 90s as a Christmas gift for the very first time.
Dude, I will say something about Gavin. As outlandish and crazy as he was, if he told you he was going to do something, he would do it.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I let him borrow $400 one time to get a set of tires.
Yeah.
And this dude paid me back $800. I don't remember what deck I bought with it, but I'm sure it was the video. Dude, it's crazy too, because like, and this is going back off topic, talking about cards, like working and trying to save money for cars. Like, dude, I remember when like a gold rare chaos sorcerer was like $12,
Yeah.
and it was like you got paid, and it was like, do I skip out on dinner tonight and I buy this chaos sorcerer that I need? Or do I eat? And it's like, okay, I'll get the chaos sorcerer. So like,
And like me already, I am like the absolute like, when it comes to like buying stuff for myself, I'm the absolute worst. I will not do it. I will wait like to the very last second, and like I might not even still do it. I remember there was one time I like ash blossoms were at like their lowest point, and like back when they were like before there was commons or anything, and I think like the ultras had just came out, and they were like 25 a piece, and I had to literally talk myself up for 4 days, Justin, to buy to buy this set of ash blossoms that were at 25 a piece. It took me 4 whole days.
dude, that I remember like I didn't even if I would get staples, I would keep them long enough to play one event just to sell them at the event if I did bad.
Right.
And it was like a never-ending cycle. Like, dude, I'm getting droplets off you tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending cycle, and I don't even need to sell them now. It's just like
I,
you
like I,
can't. I don't. It's like I'm not gonna play these.
I remember back when Tri Brigade was the hot deck, and like a lot of people think like was it access code like a lot of people thought was getting reprinted, and like, it was a part of that deck I had sold you, and then like it did, and then it
What deck did you sell me?
the Tri Brigade deck.
Oh yeah, well, no, so like that deck, that like the most expensive card in that deck was Access Code Talker, and
Yeah,
people were like, yeah, it's getting reprinted and some kind of set. And it was like the set they had like the fake artwork leak or something like that,
yeah,
and it never got reprinted or something like that. But yeah,
and
I
I didn't,
actually got
and
yeah, I
I
actually
didn't,
got one, but I sold it.
and like we'd already like came to an agreement on the price of the deck, and I didn't
Yeah.
change the price on it,
Oh,
and then like that same weekend you sold the deck off and got
bro,
Dragon Link.
bro, I did, and Dragon Link was fun too. And it's just like I remember picking back up Tri Brigade at some point, and I'm like, you know what? I think a second Shurak would do just as good as the Access Code Talker. It didn't in theory. I mean, it didn't in real life, but um, so yeah. I mean, especially having kids, like you don't get to splurge like on like
N-
high res things, dude. Because like back in the day, I had like um, I had like Max Rarity, Dark Magician back when like Dragoon first came out, dude. Like I got Starlight. Well, not first came out, but like when Starlights came, I had kids then too, so I can't say nothing. Like back in the day,
right.
I had like Max Rarity. I had Max Rarity Lightsworns at 2 points in my life. Um, I had like Max Rarity Glad Beast at some point, like Heroes at one point as much as it could be out like for that deck. And just like weird decks too. And
The only deck I ever had, the only two decks I ever had max rarity was Blackwing and Dark World. Like, and that was
oh
I had like with the Dark World deck I had Secret Tour Guides, Ultimate
yeah,
Dealings, all the ultimates, everything, and like that deck ended up getting stolen at a regional. But that's a video, that's a whole
yeah.
nother episode in itself.
So yeah, and now I have Max Rarity Heroes again. I think I'm gonna stick with it because like part of me wants to keep it to like just see if like just to hold that value, hold that investment.
Oh yeah.
Because like support's always coming out for it, but I don't see myself like outside of that dude. Like everything else I have is low rarity, and like our buddy Madison, he's like the budgeter of all budgeters. He has like every deck of his is common, and he hates playing a card if it doesn't come in common.
I mean,
So
I'm almost the same. If I can get my hands on like a good deal on some high rarity stuff, sure. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna go
yeah,
out of my way to get it. Like, I will. I'll play whatever rarity. I
yeah.
don't care. Like,
And you're working back on your Max Rarity Dark Rolls again.
yeah, I am. I've almost got it back to where it needs to be. Just I mean, I'm just taking my time with it, just slowly but
Okay.
surely, just piecing that back together. Um, But yeah,
So
like as far as that, I'm like a Yu-Gi-Oh hobo dude. Like, I make the joke all the time. Like, my Edison Glare Beast deck, it looks like it's been bought off Wish.
it's funny.
It's got one common test tiger, one ultra test
Bro,
tiger, and a secret test tiger.
my son, so I got him some cards, and like, so the cool thing about having kids is when you take them to card shops, a lot of them just give them like free product,
Mm-hmm.
just to get them into the game. And I've been to Easy, shout out to Easy Gaming.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times, and like players have like either given my son like a Megaton or given them like a Gold Series. They gave him a Gold Series one time. There's like a Gold Rare Blue Eyes in it. That's his favorite card,
Nice.
and he has it. It's the only one he's got sleeved, and the rest are like crammed in a box. And I'm going through these cards. That's $2. That's $3, man. What are you doing? You know, like part of me is like,
Look.
being a kid, like having rubber bands around your cards. Oh God, I wish I
Oh
never had to do that.
gosh. I remember doing that. I remember I remember when I found out what sleeves were. I'd seen people at that local I was telling you about, and they had like sleeves on their cards. And you see, my younger self was very dumb, thinking, oh, because I went to Walmart with my mom and my dad, and I seen, like, the deck boxes that came with sleeves and stuff. And I thought, at that time, I thought that those boxes came with cards in them. Like, the
Yeah,
cards were already in the sleeves. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do this and get like and start build my collection up. Got home, opened up my first box of sleeves, and that's just all it was sleeves. I was
let me
more
tell you,
excited.
I've been tilted two times as a kid. Okay, the first time was when I went and I got a structure deck or the starter deck Kaiba, and this was when gas stations would sell cards, dude.
I
I
remember
got
that.
starter deck Kaiba. It was like, dude, it was like $10, and it came with Blue Eyes. Okay, they had Legend of Blue Eyes pack. My first thought was, dude, that's freaking crazy. I'm guaranteed another Blue Eyes for $3. This is insane. So I get the structure deck or the starter deck, sorry, starter deck, and I get the pack of cards.
Yeah.
And behold, when I open up my pack, I get like freaking Miss Shizur, or like the dolphin with like the guns on the side. Like, where the hell's my blue eyes at? Like, what is this?
My
I was
God.
I was so upset. I didn't get no blue eyes. And so I was like, okay, well, read the back, and it explains to me exactly what a booster pack is. So, but I got that, and I got actually that was like my first bought product. My first cards were given to me by a friend of mine, and it was Dark Magician, and I had like Witch of the Black Forest. I think it was Flame Princess. I can't remember the name of the. She did like burn damage, but it was like that was Dark Magician was my first card. It's my favorite card. The second time I got tilted was you remember like the collector's tins, like the Yugi, the Joey, the Kaiba with like the XYZ Dragon Cannon.
Yeah.
So there was a Walmart down the road from me, and this is back when they had like the snack bar in there. You get like corn dogs and stuff. It was like not even Super Walmart wasn't even a thing, I don't think.
Right.
And I had a dream that they had a Joey Thousand Dragon tin, and I
Hmm.
really wanted a Thousand Dragon. And I woke up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna put my deck together. Where's my Thousand Dragon? And I'm like looking, And I'm like, where's my Thousand Dragon tin? Like, it's in here somewhere. And dude, I was livid. I'm asking my grandma where it is, my grandpa what they did with it. I cannot find it. And so I look at one of my other tins that I have, and it was like it told you like what other tins were out there. Collect all three or whatever. Like there was no Thousand Dragon tin anywhere. And I'm like, oh my god, I just dreamed this. And it was detailed. I remember walking into Walmart, going through the clothes section, grabbing this Thousand Dragon tin, and this shit never existed. So, but
I
my mom used to throw my cards away, dude.
my mom, like if I got bad grades in school or if I got like suspended or whatever, she would hide like my she knew what deck was like my main deck, and she would hide it. But the thing about the thing about what I would do is I would just like I would like most of the time I would go to Joey's house over the weekend like every weekend when I was a kid, and like I would just build like stuff like just decks out of my bulk and just go and still go and like go to Joey's, and then we go to the card shop anyway, and like I would just play.
Dude, I remember um, I misbehaved one time, and we're at Walmart, and I had my cards, and I used to keep them in a Ziploc bag. And I remember Gaia the Fierce Knight I always kept on top.
Yeah.
And my mom threw away my cards, and I had a Dark Paladin in there, like one of the promo Dark
Mm,
Paladins.
yeah.
I remember digging in the trash can to get it back out, dude. I was frantic. Like, what parent throws their kids' cards away? Like, I couldn't imagine myself ever doing that, but
I couldn't do that.
no, dude, I couldn't. No, I couldn't do that at all. And then she turned around and bought me more for like my birthday or whatever. I'm like, what is this? What is this cycle of madness?
Right.
But dude, I remember I had I think it was eighth grade. I had like this metal Magic the Gathering card can, and I had my
Yeah.
deck in it. And I had just got the because I used to get so my mom would give me like a $5 allowance every month to get the Shonen Jump magazine,
Yeah.
and they come with cards sometimes.
Yeah.
So there was like a set of three back to back that came with like Yujo Friendship,
Hmm.
um,
Unity
the yeah,
and
the yeah,
Pharaoh's Judgment.
yeah, Pharaoh's Judgment. I had all three of those, and somebody had taken my cards and threw them away in the men's bathroom or the boys'
Wow.
bathroom, whatever, in the trash can. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got the can back, but the cards were like pretty much ruined. So people used to make fun of you big time back in school, and now like it's just cool to play.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know I didn't like when I was in school, like when I got to like higher up in like middle school and and got into high school, I didn't let anybody know that I played, just because like I had seen how like they would make fun of like other people that they were like more they were open about like, hey, I play Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I wasn't open about playing Yu-Gi-Oh when I was in high school. But now now I'm an old man. I don't care.
Dude, I wear a Yu-Gi-Oh hat, a Yu-Gi-Oh shirt, freaking Yu-Gi-Oh boxers, man. Like,
Right.
and I remember like back in school, dude. Like, if you had your cards on the table, teacher was to get mad at you. Put your cards up. People come by and take your cards off the table and run away with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just dumb stuff, dude. And it was, um, I remember a buddy of mine had like a Slifer the Sky Dragon, like the actual, not the flea market ones, like the actual you got it from. I
Right.
think it was like a manga promo. He had like a Wing Dragon or Raw from like the Xbox game,
Hmm.
and somebody like swing by the cafeteria, grabbed his cards, and in the process ended up like bending them and like threw them back on the table. Like, dude, like we went through a lot of shit to enjoy the things that we did,
Yeah, we did. We really
but
did.
it's worth it in the end. And I'm glad we get to share that with our kids.
Yeah. I'm same here. I like it does my heart good to see like because Luna will see me like doing hand tests and stuff like that, and she'll like walk up to me and she's like, "Can I play cards with you?" And it's like, "Yeah," and she looks like it looks like knows what she's like
Yeah.
trying to figure stuff out, and I'm like it just does my heart good. So like she's just like trying to like take an interest in it.
Yeah, so I think that what I want to do, and we need to work on this together. Is I want to set like I guess we need to get a schedule for the listeners, viewers, whatever, and then we also need to think of like some things for our next bulletin point. And I'm thinking of something along the lines of maybe exploring like formats one at a time,
Yeah,
because we've been through most of them. If not, we missed a couple here and there, right? But we're
yeah,
knowledgeable about the game to where we can go back and talk about what we do remember about it. I think that starting next episode, maybe along with some other topics, because we're going to go off topic like we did today, but
yeah.
talk about formats from the beginning when we started playing, and then eventually talk our way up through current where we are or where we will be when we get to that point, and sort of go through our lives during that time as well, to give the listener a sense of how we grew up with the game.
Right. I'm completely down with that. Like that works for me.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I guess we're going to cut this video here. Um, uh, if you enjoyed this first episode, just let us know down in the comments below. Also, we are still trying to help raise money for our friend Austin Butcher that is going through leukemia at this moment. I will be linking the GoFundMe page for that in the description as well. And yeah, guys, we appreciate you sitting here and listening to this. And Justin, is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
Nah, just everybody be on the lookout for the next episode.
Yep, definitely. Me and Justin will get together tomorrow and discuss how we're going to do the scheduling, and then I'll post it. Then I'll post it in the community tab. And yeah, guys, be sure to always like, comment, and subscribe. We're only 4 subscribers away from 1,500, guys. That's all we need. And yeah, guys, this is TYP 336 and Justin Perkins. Sign out. Peace.